My name is Brian Benson with James Bean Estate Sales in Oklahoma City, and today I'm here to talk to you about how you can tell real Versace china versus fake Versace china. What most people don't realize when we think about counterfeit products, most people immediately think about Louis Vuitton handbags, but no one ever thinks about china actually being something that can be counterfeited. So I'm going to kind of take you on the tour and show you how you can be able to tell the difference between real china versus fake china. The first thing you want to look at when you're looking at fake china, or if it's fake, is you want to look at the marks. The marks aren't going to be necessarily conclusive, but they can be conclusive on some things. First thing we want to look at when you're looking for a fake is you want to look at the marks. Now, this particular cup is marked Rutherford Barocco Italy design. Now, we immediately know that this is going to be a fake cup because it says Rutherford. All Versace china was made by Rosenthal, not Rutherford. So when you see the Rutherford make or number on it, you know that that's not going to be a real piece. Now, this cup right here says Rosenthal, Medusa, Italy design. Now, this piece we also know is fake because it should say Versace. It should say Rosenthal at the top. It should say Versace at the bottom, followed by the pattern name at the very bottom of that. So this one doesn't say Versace, so we know that is also incorrect. And also where it says Italy design, that was a way that that was something they put on these cups so that when they came through customs, as they were getting confiscated because it's illegal to make counterfeits and import them, they would do that to say that it's in the style of Versace, but not really Versace. That was kind of a way of them trying to get around it and not get them confiscated. Now, and you have to remember that all of these cups are made in Germany. They're not actually made, or all these pieces are made in Germany. They're not made in Italy, so the Italy design is just kind of it's in the style of. And also, this cup, now there's also marks that may not have any lettering at all on them. There will be just a black dot with the little gold Versace symbol. Those are also going to be fakes. This one's the most convincing one. Everything is correct. It will say Rosenthal, Versace, Medusa, and this is also a fake cup, which is why you also need to know after looking at these, you can disqualify the others pretty easy. This one, you want to go through what we call the secondary process of trying to figure out if you do see these marks, you want to go through secondary processes to make sure that you know that it's going to be real. Now, this is an example of a correct mark on a plate. As you can see, it says Rosenthal, it says Versace, and it says Medusa. Those are the basic three things you want to see. If you have a different pattern, it might not say Medusa, it might say, whatever pattern like Barocco. But you also, like right here, you can see this is a inspection mark or a quality control mark sticker. And since a lot of these plates never actually got used, people bought them and displayed them, they never actually washed them, a lot of times these stickers will still be on there. So when you see these stickers, you always know that's a really good indicator that it's probably a real plate. On this plate, as you can see, we still have an inspection sticker. It also says Studio Line Germany, which is also a good sign. The fakes, they didn't fake a lot of these other details because as Rosenthal produced the plates, they would change their markings, as the designs evolved. So the Studio Line's a good indicator that it's going to be real. Also the Germany, because these were made in Germany, they were not made in Italy. And also the quality control sticker. On this plate, you can see there's German writing at the top, which is also a good sign. When you see anything out of the ordinary, that's a good thing, as long as it still says Rosenthal, Versace, and then the pattern name. Also, right here, see this little mark? I've been told, but I do not know if this is correct for sure, that those scratches meant that this was a factory second, and at the factory they would scratch the base so they could tell which ones were seconds versus first quality. So when you see a scratch, I think that's actually a good sign. I've seen several of them that have had scratches over the years. And then lastly, this design, and could be many more designs. Quality control sticker, Rosenthal, Germany, Versace, Medusa. You always want to see those qualities on a thing. The quality control sticker always helps, like I said. And now, obviously, on the other one that had the fake mark, it still had these indicators on it. So now I need to show you by design how you can tell the differences. If you can't tell by the mark, how you can tell by just looking at the piece. So now we're going to talk about the outsides of the plates. What you need to remember is most of these dishes were made around the early 2000s. So they were also copying the patterns that were available in the early 2000s. And we know that they copied about 12 different designs. So the later patterns, like Asian Dream or Primavera, to my knowledge, never actually got copied. They were only copying the ones that were most popular in the early 2000s. When they did that, you could buy them, like I said, on eBay, or you get them at different flea markets, and they would sell you a set of 49 pieces for about $500. Those 49-piece sets always came with a 5-piece serving set that had the plate, a bowl, a bread and butter plate, a cup, a saucer. It came with a teapot, a creamer, a sugar. It also would come with a serving bowl, a pair of salt and pepper shakers, and it would come with a large serving platter like this. Notice they came with a rimmed soup bowl, but they did not come with a salad plate. And that's a good indicator of when you see, if you see a salad plate, you always know salad plates are always real because they didn't fake those. Also, in addition to those pieces, you could buy extra. You could buy fake tureens, you could buy demi-tasse cups, you could buy cake plates, and other various items. So just because I'm not mentioning them doesn't mean that they aren't out there. But I'm going to show you kind of how you can tell the difference between the real ones and the fake ones. Okay. First, we're going to look at the teapots. At the teapots, this is a real one. This is a fake one. The easiest way to tell on teapots, and they're very easy to tell, is real teapots always have white on the inside of the handle. Fake teapots always have gold on the inside of the handle. Now, a real one may or may not have gold on the outside. Like the Blue Medusa teapot is a totally white handle, but they all always have white on the inside, and they always have, if they have gold, it's going to be on the outside. Anytime you see this solid gold handle, and every fake I've ever seen always has a solid gold handle, always a very easy dead giveaway that that's a fake one versus a real one. When you look at the creamers are very easy also because a real creamer will always have a lid. The fake creamers were not even designed to even have a lid, so it's not even that it's missing. There's not even a lid. That's always an indication that this is a fake creamer. Real creamers always have a lid. On the sugar bowls, another very easy, these are very easy too. The real ones are always oval, and also they do not have these little wings. When you look at the fake one, where it's round, the round is always wrong, and these little wings are a dead giveaway that this isn't a real product. It's basically kind of a loose interpretation of what they thought it should look like. Now we're going to talk about the 5-piece place settings that came with the fakes versus the real. Now, one thing you'll notice is this side is all fake, and all of the fakes will use the exact same pattern on every piece. What they did was they took one pattern off of one piece of the real and duplicated that, and they stuck it on every single piece of the fake items. So when you see this, you know this is immediately going to be fake because they should be like this. They should have a different pattern on every single plate. Also, one thing on the sets is the sets came with a rimmed soup bowl. They did not come with a salad plate. So if you see a salad plates are always an indicator that you always know the salad plates are going to be real because they didn't make fake salad plates. On the cups, what you're going to notice is, and the cups are much harder to tell, these you can easily point out, you can tell from a photo whether they're going to be real or not. Cups are a little bit harder because they faked the cups a little bit better. What you want to look at on the cups, other than the marks, is try to see underneath the wing if you can see an overlap of the decal. It may or may not be there, but if you do see this little line, that means that's where the decal, when they were making these, overlapped. And that's always a good sign that that's going to be a fake. I've never seen this overlap on a real one. Other things you want to look at, and this is harder to tell through pictures, but sometimes you can tell it in real life. A real one will have this very nice, elegant, burnished, soft gold. The fake ones will have this really shiny, tacky, kind of garish looking gold. And like I said, it's hard to tell in photos because of people's lighting, but in real life, it stands out pretty evident. Next thing we're going to look at is the salt and pepper shakers. These are also very hard to tell by pictures. A lot of times you can only tell if you have them side by side. But the salt and pepper shakers will be the same height, but the real ones are thinner and more slender and much more elegant looking. The fake ones are obviously more short and stubby, kind of almost not quite a barrel, but similar. The other ones will be much more of a taper, much more of a dramatic, elegant arch coming up. The tureens, these are just like the sugar bowls in that you can tell because the real tureens will be oval. The fake tureens are going to be round. Luckily, you won't see very many of these faked. The vegetable bowl that came with the sets, this is one of the easiest pieces because Versace never did this piece. It's most of the Versace designs, except for the newer ones, had the designs on the outside. They would look more like this tureen with the designs on the outside and be blank on the inside. So this is totally a fantasy piece where you wouldn't see one that was very similar. On this particular piece, which is the cake plate, the real cake plate would have a design that would be a big wide band that would go all the way around the base. So that's a pretty easy tell on how to tell that one versus the fake one. And then lastly, and these are also semi-hard to tell depending on people's photos, is this is a real platter and this is obviously a fake platter. They're very similar. When you look at them, they're very hard to tell apart. I mean, even if you have them side by side, they're hard to tell. What you'd want to do when you look is you want to flip them over, make sure you double check the marks to make sure the marks are correct. Another thing you can look for is on some, but not all of the real ones, they will have these two holes up here. These were made to put plate hangers in so that you could hang them on a wall, since that was what they were designed for. When you see these two little holes, we always know those are going to be real because that's not a thing that was copied. Another thing you can look at is the other indicator, and unfortunately they have to be in your hand to tell this, is the real Versace will be very silky smooth. It's very smooth to the touch. When you touch it, it has a very good quality feel, and it's very luxurious feeling. When you hold a fake piece of Versace, sometimes it's a little heavier. You can feel it'll feel gritty to the touch. When you look at it up close, you can see pore marks where the quality of the china is not quite as good. And like I said, when you rub your hand on it, it'll almost feel like gritty sandpaper, or it can. So that's sometimes it has to be in your hand to tell it, but that's also a good way of telling the difference. And that's kind of the easy way, I say, if you're looking at china, the kind of the quick tour on how to decide if it's going to be real or fake. Thank you for watching our shopping guide on how to tell the difference between real versus fake Versace. We'd love to see you at one of our estate sales, or visit our website at James Bean Estate Sales for other videos which will be upcoming on how to tell the difference between real versus fake products, or other educational videos on how to tell what things are.